Hey guys, and welcome back to Trendy Robinsons. So, this is season one podcast, episode 3. And today we're going to be talking about how to stop the destruction of the Black family. All right, guys. So, I do hope that you guys have your glass of wine or a cup of milk or whatever you want to have, cup of water, have your snack, and just sit back and listen. This is a very deep and interesting topic that I feel like we should have in the Black community, because we see a lot of Black families ending. We see Tia and her husband got divorced, are getting divorced. We see all these things happening, and it's just really sad because, we and the Black community, especially famous people, those Black couples are what is being shown to the world. So, for those couples to end, and it's just so sad, But let's go ahead and jump into this topic of how to stop the destruction of the Black family. My first my first topic that I do want to say is, before I start this topic, is that you always want to make sure that you are doing what's best for your family. Every family is different. Every family dynamic is different. You may have to do, just a little bit more, just a little bit less, when some of these uh, things I'm going to say, just because your husband may be a little different, your children may be a little different, may live in a different lifestyle. What race you are may also affect your position on this. But these are my specific topics that has inspired me and my family to continue to grow. As you know, we just had a son. He is now 3 months old, and he is just so adorable, so cute. We have our daughter. She just turned 4 years old last month. Our family is thriving, flourishing. My husband started a new job. Oh, he's been here like about 4 months now. So, um, okay. So, number one, the first thing is you want to make sure that you as a woman is an inspirational woman. Make sure that you're inspiring your husband, inspiring your children, inspiring anyone that comes around you. You just want to be that person that whenever someone comes around you, you're just full of inspiration, you're full of life, you're full of happiness, you're full of joy. Because let me tell you, sometimes as a woman, you are maybe the only thing that keeps that family happy and going, as far as like the joy in the family. Because if your husband comes home from work and he's tired and his feet is hurting, his feet is swollen, trust me, he's not going to be in a super good mood. He's going to be ready to get in that bed, go to sleep, or like my husband wants. He wants to have sex and go to sleep when he gets home from work. So, you may have to just sacrifice. Like my husband gets home from work 6:30 in the morning. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to make sure breakfast is done or our house is clean. And normally when he gets home from work, we have sex and he goes to sleep. And I may make him breakfast and he eat and all kind of stuff. And we spend a little time together and then he goes to sleep. But that's our routine, you know what I'm saying? But you just want to make sure that you are inspiring your husband. So like whenever he goes home from work, you want to be the life. You want him to be happy to come home. Like, oh my goodness, like I'm finally back home to my queen. I'm so happy to be off work. Like, let's make some love. Let's try to make another child. Let's just enjoy life together. So you want to. So my number one tip, like I said, is to be an inspirational Black woman. Like I said, this could apply to other races of people, but I'm specifically going for the Black family. I'm specifically trying to get our Black families to start thriving and flourishing, because this is very important in the Black community. Number two, let's move on to number two now. Number two, I feel like is the most important one out of all the tips I'm going to give out today. I'm not sharing tips I'm going to give out. I'm going to set in the Lord, I'm letting God give me these tips as I go on, because also making sure that you have a spiritual connection with God. I think is also important. Whatever God you believe in, like I said, it's up to you. Whether you're Muslim, Buddhist, whatever, make sure that you have a strong connection with God and the source, because sometimes, You may have a discernment about something. Sometimes your husband may not want you to talk at that specific time. And, God just may tell you, hey, listen to him. Don't talk right now. Listen to what he has to say. Listen to him. Do not overspeak him. Don't even give any feedback. Just listen to him. Just say, okay, just do things like that. Don't even have any really feedback. Because sometimes a man just needs to just get it out. Just talk it out. Sometimes men don't like to talk. And so whenever men do talk, you better shut up because men normally do not like to share their feelings. Okay. So, number 3. So, I said number 2 is most important because spiritual connection with God is always going to get you further in life. Okay, now number 3 is going to be make sure that you know what he or what your family likes, like what your husband likes, what your children like. For example, your husband may like the house a certain temperature, or he might like the house cleaned a certain way. He might like you to wear certain lingerie around the house. He may want you to be, just a certain type of way, a certain type of woman. Like for instance, my husband likes me to wear my natural hair. So if you have a husband that likes you to wear your natural hair or likes you to, just be more natural looking, not wearing much makeup, all that type of stuff, then that's what you need to do. So like I said, this can apply to your own family. Do the things you like. If your husband likes you to wear a lot of makeup, which most men don't, I'll say that, especially black men. Most black men love natural hair, natural makeup, no wigs, no weave. And so if y'all watch the beginning of my channel, you see where I did wear a lot of weave. But I'm not doing that anymore. So yeah, that would be my next tip. Like I said, make sure that you are knowing what he likes. So, he might like you to dress a certain way. And then for your children may like a certain snack. And these things really do help because I'm gonna tell you right now, you want your children to be well behaved and happy. So make sure that you are being there for your children. Make sure that you're showing your husband you're a nurturing mother because your husband's going to feel so much more happy to have you in his life because it's going to be like, okay, you know what? I don't have to worry about my wife calling me at work because one of the kids broke a vase or one of the kids is being really bad. So she needs me to yell at them over the phone. This is one thing I have to learn myself, but this happens. I've heard this happen before. So make sure that you're not calling your husband when he's at work about problems that you're having at home, the children acting up. And when he's at work, that's his time to be at work, and that's your time to step up. And you may have to be a little bit more firm so that way your children can listen to you. Um, so that'll be my next tip. Like I said, making sure that you are not interrupting him when he's at work. Now if he calls you or if he texts you, by all means, call him, text him back, but do not over excessively talk to him when he's not home. And even when he is home, don't overly excessively talk. Make sure that you are keeping what you say to a minimum. You want to make sure that you are engaging in conversation. Like I said, that's where number 2 comes into play. Having a spiritual connection with God, because you will always have a discernment frequently on when you should talk, when you shouldn't talk. And let me tell you, that has gotten me so much further in life because those arguments me and my husband used to get into because I overtalked him back in the day, back in the past, a long time ago, whenever I was still not submissive and I was talking over him and stuff. We got in so many arguments because he was like, I can't get my point across. You keep over talking to me. I forgot what I was saying now. Like, because now your response was 2 minutes long. He forgot whatever he was saying. So make sure that you are not talking too much. On this podcast I have right here, I do like to talk because, I am teaching women. So you may want to have your platform where you're able to speak, where you're able to talk, where you're able to get your thoughts across without having to bombard them on your husband. Now, if you and your husband have the same belief system, or if you come across something very knowledgeable that you feel like you want to share with your husband, of course, by all means, like I said, share that with your husband. Let your husband know that, hey, I just came across this really good information that I feel like could grow our family to a better direction, or whatever the case may be. You can always share those things with him. But most of the time, if he's not talking to you, or if he's just looking like in the mood, feel like in the mood, he don't want to talk, do not talk too much. Do not force him to talk. Do not do anything like that. Okay. So moving on to the next topic. That was actually two different points in one. So I'll fix that on here. But moving on to the next topic. So I think I'm on number 4 now. Cause yeah. So I think I'm on number 4 now. Um, if I'm not, I'll just correct that. But the next one is be submissive. Okay. All right. This right here is also very important as well to keep the black family from destructing. Be submissive to your husband. Oh my goodness. I see it all the time, guys. Black women, and I love my black sisters. I'm a black woman myself. So trust me, I used to be that way too. We are taught a lot of times to, talk bad about our husbands, that black men are bad, and I had an active black father in my home. And I remember, I love my mother very dearly. And I hope that if she hears this, that she doesn't, get mad at me or anything like that. But she definitely used to sometimes talk about my dad more than she should have with other people, about things that were personal to the family. So make sure you're not doing that, So make sure you're being a submissive wife. Make sure you're respecting your husband, respecting the values that he wants in a woman, respecting the morals that he wants in a woman. Um, you know, Me and my husband were in domestic discipline, so he may spank me and all that kind of stuff, but it makes me so much more submissive under him. And let me tell you guys, the sex is so much more amazing when you're being submissive. I'm gonna tell you that right now, hands down. When you are submissive to your husband, oh my goodness, because he's able to dominate you, girl. He's able to dominate you. He's able to do whatever the fuck you want to do to you. Grab your hair, whatever he wants to do to you. Okay. And you're just like, you know what, daddy, you got it. I'm gonna throw this pussy back. Oh, I'm sorry, you know what? I'm getting a little too graphic, but you know what I'm saying? Like you be like, you know what? I'm gonna give it to you, big daddy. Whenever you want this cookie, whenever you want this and then okay, you know what? But at the same time, make sure that you are just being a submissive woman. Make sure you use a discernment though, because sometimes you may kind of want to make him miss you a little bit. So sometimes you might not want to give sex excessively, if that makes sense. Like you want to be there for him and make sure he's getting sex whenever he wants. But like sometimes it's gonna keep a little mystery alive. Sometimes you can kind of be like, make him wait a little bit, just kind of like flirt with him. Make him wait, a little bit. Not all the time, but you know what I'm saying? Just to make him yearn for you a little more. So definitely, guys, be more submissive to your husband. If you're a black woman and people tell you, oh, you're a slave to him, oh, you shouldn't treat him like a king, oh, you know what, he's not worth that, you know what I'm saying? You could go with a man, blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. You need to clear your mind. Make sure, like, you know what? I'm not going to listen to those ladies because 9 times out of 10, their husbands want them to be submissive and they would want a woman just like you. So make sure that you are being submissive towards your man. You're listening to him. You are providing that nurture for him. You know what I'm saying? Like if he hurts himself when he comes home from work, that you're being a nurturing woman. So that is also another topic and another tip to keep the black family together is be a nurturing woman. I'm also gonna put the list of how to keep the structure of the black family in the description box below because this is so important. I mean, this is gold. This is really important knowledge I'm giving out right now. And I'm doing it for free because I love keeping the black community. I love seeing black families thriving. And this is a lot of good information because this is information that you don't get anywhere. You just can't go down the street and find this information. Okay. So this is information that you really, really, really need to implement in your life, in your marriage. Because like I said, I'm just all for black families thriving, flourishing, falling in love, keeping your man happy, stopping him from cheating as much as possible, all those type of things right there, being the woman that you need to be for your family to grow and go to the next level. So on that note, guys, I'm going to go ahead and, kind of wrap up this video. I am going to give one more bonus topic to discuss. I'm going to give one more last really, really great great, advice to give right now. And that would be to make sure that you are keeping your house clean, keeping yourself clean, keeping your children clean, keeping the food cooked, making sure that you are homeschooling your children. All these type of things is going to make your Black family go to the next level, because you don't want your children to be raised by the school. You want to make sure that like your family is being taught right from wrong in the right way. So make sure that you're taking your children out of these schools, and that you're because being Black family together is not only about the husband, it's also about the children, mostly about the husband, but make sure you're also being a good mother to your children, making sure that your kids have a safe space to be themselves. Let your children, play some days, like make sure that you're letting them learn from you, their ABCs, their numbers. Like they shouldn't, if you want to enroll them in an online school, I would definitely do that. I'm actually going to do a separate video about homeschooling for the Black family. I think that this is the way to go, because when you homeschool your children, homeschool your kids, you are getting hands-on attention in these days and times. You have to be a hands-on parent. Okay, you gotta go there. Be that hands-on parent. Don't let family members stop you, friends stop you, because at the end of the day, think about this. Would you rather your children grow up and be miraculous people? I mean, be thriving in the Black community, your son not going back and forth to jail? Or would you want to send your children to school and be like, you know what, I don't want people getting mad at me, I'm gonna send my kids to school because I want to be normal? And then, the cycle repeats itself. Stop the cycle today, stop the generational cycles, and keep your family going on the right track. Keep your children at home. Keep your family. Be a stay-at-home mother. Okay, so that's another thing too. If you want to be your Black family to flourish and thrive, bring back the traditional values of the woman staying home and the man working. Because when you do this, you are allowing yourself to be the woman that you need to be. You're allowing yourself to have the energy to get from sex when he needs it. You're allowing yourself to have the energy to take care of your children and to cook the food and to clean and still have time for yourself to breathe and to have a hobby. All right. So make sure that you are, like I said, being a stay-at-home mother in the Beck family, because you want to be hands-on with your children. You want to be loving, nurturing, caring. Okay, try not to yell at your children. I know it's hard sometimes because children sometimes need correction. So I'm never gonna say don't correct your children. Make sure you're correcting your children. And sometimes you have to be a little firm, like I said, but just try not to be that parent that just gets overly mad and just like, all that type of stuff, because that's not attractive. You want your husband, like I said, to know that the children are safe with you, that he can go to work and he can come home to a clean house with good behaved children, and, and that everything's all right, because it's going to make him have such a more peaceful time at work, because he's not going to be worried about if Billy broke the vase, or if Sally's gonna, hurt herself today. He's gonna get a phone call to come home early. Don't be that. Don't do that. Don't be that parent. Don't be that wife. Like I said, in the Black, as a Black woman, we have to do even more. We have to be even extra perfect, actually, because we have way more pressure on us. Because everybody's waiting for us to fail. Everybody's like, oh, well, the Black family is not going to stay together. So, that's what people think. And it's like, stop that ideology. Stop thinking that Black families are going to stay together, because we are going to flourish. We are going to thrive. And the Black family is coming up like the phoenix. So if you're here for it, if you're here for Black families thriving, if you're here for Black families coming together, if you're here for these podcasts about how to stop the destruction of the Black family, and also very important topics that I'm going to be coming to you guys with this new series of just growing and thriving for Black families, please like, share, comment this video. Please subscribe to this channel. Please be a member. Please join our family and let's grow this channel, because right now this is a very small channel and I have really great content for you guys, that needs to be more shared to the world, because this is what's going to keep the Black families together. This is what's going to keep things that Kevin Samuels taught alive. This is what's going to keep your children off the streets and off drugs and off the jail system, because it all starts from home. Your family, how you are a woman to your family, how you treat your husband, that's how your daughter's going to treat her husband. She may decide to be different if you're a bad wife, but you don't want to give her that impression of that. You don't want to have to go out here and learn that on her own. You want to be that role model. And speaking of children, Sergeant, you want to say a quick before I get off? My daughter was sitting right here the whole time. Go on, say hey.
Hi.
Say subscribe to my mommy's channel. Subscribe to my mommy's channel.
My cat. Mama, I love you.
I love you too, sir, girl. See, so I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to put her to bed. It's 11 o'clock, 11:04 p.m. Almost in the morning, almost 12 a.m.
I'm sleepy.
All right, guys. I love you guys. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more videos from this channel. We got them coming. I have an infant baby right now, so I got them coming, guys. Okay, all right. I got some vlogs coming up for you guys. I got some things that we already got filmed for this channel coming up.
Yeah.
So make sure you're staying tuned. Subscribe, guys. Subscribe, and subscribe. Okay, because sometimes I be getting the views from the subscribe count. All right, ain't adding it.
And
so
together.
I love you guys. Bye bye. And stay tuned for more videos.
Yeah, bye bye.